Yep, it is 4:40. I'm ready.
Aina, can you hear us? Yeah, picture. I knew she made it.
Aina. I can't see or hear her.
I just see her picture. But I can do the
Yeah.
write-up. I actually already did the write-up.
Oh, swell, even better. Oh, that'd be great. Yeah, where are all the questions for this one?
I need to keep adding people because it's not working for them.
Meh. Okay, I'll pull up the questions. Okay, still looking for them.
Hi, Aina.
Hello.
You made it.
Hi. Hi. Thank
Hello.
goodness.
I know.
It
Yeah,
keeps
you're
saying
here.
it keeps saying on the screen that there is an internet error or something like that. But I wish it won't disrupt our.
It's all good.
Okay.
Now, Kelvin and them are having difficulties joining.
So today we have the same time. It's 4:40 in our time now.
Um, yeah, it's 4:40 here right now.
It's the same time here in Tonga.
I think so.
Really?
I think you're just
It's
a day
4:40
ahead.
there too. Oh.
No, must be I'm wrong. Must be my berry. Three
Oh,
Oh.
3:40, right? Yep.
okay. We're just gonna start.
Okay.
All right. So are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. The first question is,
Yeah.
hi Ina. The first question is, what does each poem have to say about what is expected of women regarding beauty? What does each poem have to say?
Hold on. Gotta keep doing it. Sorry. So I feel like both poems, it still talks about outer appearance as beautiful. Because like I feel like both the poems started off with describing a girl's outer appearance. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think in the first one it's like expected to, if you don't have the culture's standards of beauty, that you are required to change that, just
Yeah.
like the girl in the Barbie doll.
Yeah. Like it was so extreme where that one girl cut off her arms and legs. I mean her nose and legs.
Yeah.
Just like symbolizing like he'd rather die
Yeah. I
like the way that people think beauty is just to be a part of it.
Mhm.
yeah.
And then the other poem,
I think on
yeah. Go Aina. Sorry.
okay. I speak now, eh? Okay, and the poem "The Beauty." I think that is about. I was thinking that he expected some competition in thinking for the most popular in or in other thing that she was. I see expecting in attention, thinking of her putting on the medication to become more beauty than any others. And
Yeah.
the other poem of Masterpiece, I she also goes on to say that other young girls, this child was given Barbie dolls in details that in the image that society have protected upon the expected from the young female population. And I see, yeah, that's my idea on the first question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the
On
beauty
the
poem, I feel like it was easier for her to give up on trying to be beautiful instead of like following the social standards of what beauty was. Like
mhm.
she pretty much just gave up and was just like, oh well, life is easier now that I don't need to worry. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I
Yeah,
feel
And
like
yet
it
it
was,
was still
yeah,
hard for her. Like she still
yeah,
was like having this longing, like, or at least her sister saw that, like, but beauty
yeah,
is so
that's
important. But she was like, this huge burden is being lifted from me.
yeah, that's it.
yeah.
Right after that.
Right.
So I think beauty is a burden.
It is. Just the
Speed
whole
is a
how they
burden.
explaining
Yeah.
that you like start. I read a little analysis about the Barbie doll poem, and the author that wrote that poem, she was pretty much
Mhm.
she was like a woman activist at the time, and she was like saying like we teach our society teaches at such a young age that like just even getting ready for the day, it kind of already brainwashes them to like want to look a certain way, to impress people a
Mm.
certain way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It does.
Yeah.
But it's interesting how that is socially created. That it's not like our standards of beauty are like socially created.
Yeah, yeah, it's so socially rooted.
Yeah.
It's because of our society that it is, or it's thought of the way we think of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I don't think it's a natural thing that girls like grow up
Yeah.
thinking, "Oh, my legs are too big," or like my nose is crooked. I don't think that's an inherent thing. I think
Yeah,
it's
and
made by
I don't know any
society.
parent that would make a kid that. Yeah,
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
the interpretation of other people when they seen her. But it
yeah,
was, I think it was not really like that in her appearance. Because when she died, everyone said she was so pretty.
yeah.
Yeah. That happens through
Yeah.
generations. Awesome. The second question is, what are the obstacles faced by women who want to try to meet the standards of beauty society sets? Oh, there it is. It's saying that society sets the standards of beauty.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what are the obstacles that women face?
I feel like because of what society does, society like, oh, what's up, Calvin? You made it.
All right.
Hey, Calvin.
Alright, good. I feel like we're on the second question of
Okay.
it's what are the obstacles faced by women who want to try and meet the standards of beauty and society set? And I feel like some of the obstacles that women face because of what society sets as obstacles is probably like health issues like anorexia or
Mm,
bulimia. Like
yeah.
I feel like our society pushes people to be unhealthy in a way, just to look a certain way.
Yeah. Mm.
I also think the obstacles that are there, like the standards of beauty are set so high. Like the boundaries for looking beautiful are so thin. Like you have to have this body shape and this hair and this, that like
And
it's
it's so
hard to meet those
yeah,
standards.
it's so
It's
unreasonable.
so yeah, unreachable.
And I feel like it's unachievable.
I
Like,
think
and
I
when you do
studied.
achieve it,
Yeah.
it's just like horrible.
Or it's like way too expensive. Like you have to buy all the expensive
Yeah.
products and stuff.
Way too
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think one of the obstacles is competition among the
Oh,
attention of the comments and trying
yeah.
to meet the unrealistic and the meaningless standard they were set by the society, like what the society pushed them very too high, or society order them a content what to think of their facial mold, like thinking that their face is that's how they show their beauty. But I believe that I think that the true beauty is reflect on the women's from their soul. So I think that's one of the obstacles that is young women face on the beauty. And the Barbie, in that poem, I think they expected to meet the standard of the idol girl, as like when they were Barbie dolls, then has to act up to that title as a Barbie girl, Barbie dolls.
Yeah.
That's my idea.
I feel like,
I think that
oh, sorry, go ahead.
society kind of.
No, you
I feel
go.
like society. Sorry. I feel like society kind of sets the bar really high, asking
Yeah,
girls to
really
be
high.
too thin and have certain curve and stuff like that instead of being natural. And
Hmm.
I don't know, that's kind of what it talks about in
Yeah.
these two poems. They don't live up to their expectations of people, then they're pretty much worthless, which is a ridiculous assumption.
What I liked from the beauty poem was that like it talked about how she was actually really intelligent, you know what I mean? And smart, but none of that mattered. So
Yeah.
like I feel like society puts that strain on others. Like you can be as smart as you want, but if you don't have a look, you know what I mean? Then you have no
Yeah.
like no like upper hand in life. That was like a bad guy. Oh, that was a bad guy.
Yeah, I think that goes along. Like the third question says, what are the consequences for those that do not? And I think those are some of the consequences. Like you are going to lose
Because
your
of
health,
yeah,
and
the consequences.
yeah,
And I feel like especially like girls,
Yeah,
because
the
I like
L.
to talk about girls at such a young age, and I feel like just starting at such a young age like that really puts a strain on the rest of their future and like how they think about themselves and how they think about things in life. And
yeah,
like, sorry, I was reading the analysis about the author, Margie Piercy or whatever one of them, and it said that like he was trying to break that social stigma of females or girls thinking that like they're worthless in life and that they have nothing to offer. You know what I mean? And like
mhm,
feeling he didn't want people to think that all women were really like made for in this life was just to be looked at.
yeah,
So I feel like she's trying to break out of that whole women are just dolls
mhm,
put on a shelf. You know what I mean? Like
for sure.
they're actually human beings, not dolls.
There's more to it than beauty.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. At TV, they just want to do all the yard work for me.
You're fine.
Like trying to
Oh,
talk
your
about.
face. Yeah, I can hear the voice. The
I
noise.
know.
It's
I'm like
okay.
trying to speak to
At
the
least it
computer,
breezes.
but all this yard work going on. Okay. Next question.
Okay.
What happens when someone cannot meet
Number.
expectations of beauty? I'll repeat that. What happens when someone cannot meet
Society.
society's expectations of beauty?
Oh.
Well, what I got from the poem alone, from the Barbie doll poem, how it said that she cut off her nose and her legs. That's pretty gruesome. And then she was in a casket, but like as long as she was in the casket without that ugly nose and thick legs, like she was beautiful. She was finally beautiful. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
Yeah,
that
Mm.
that expectation from society made someone pretty much want to kill herself. Like we're gonna
mm,
die looking beautiful. Society, you know what I mean? Society view, and also just the beauty poem. It's like I don't know what kind of medicine she was taking, or if it was actually for her health, but I feel like her health didn't care. Well, it did matter to her because she was taking the medicine, but I feel like after she was taking her medicine, it pretty much made her feel like, yep, there's no chance to ever be beautiful now. I have these blue veins on my cheeks, and no one's gonna see me as
mm,
beautiful. Even though she's probably helping her health to get better, like for herself, like that doesn't matter. Like you'd rather, you know what I mean? Like I think that's so
yeah,
sad that even though she is there taking medicine to help herself, she like gave up on ever even being considered beautiful.
yeah. But I also think like the second poem made me feel like, oh, since like I can't reach everybody else's expectations of beauty, like I could just like have my own unique beauty. Like I don't have to rely on theirs. So I feel like it could be a consequence where like you finally realize your own inner beauty and you
Yeah.
stop looking at the outside.
I,
And so that
I think
poem made me think of that.
yeah, I think it also depends on the personality of the person. Like
Yeah.
if they relied that much on beauty for to cultivate their relationships with people, then it's going to be hard for them when they lose their beauty.
True.
So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
if you
Yeah.
have a good personality
Yeah, I
and
think
are able to make friends, then beauty shouldn't be like. I mean, obviously, people look at that first, but if you have a good personality and you make friends with you, then that's something that people like too.
Yeah.
But yeah, as far as the
I think
consequences go,
related to the question, the to the question of the consequence, I think that everyone was blinded by that social standard that who is who is beautiful, and I see what happened when someone cannot meet the society expectation of beauty. That sometimes they will feel separated from the others, and I think they will stress. And on the poem of the beauty, they feel the quality of education and the peasant's beauty that sometimes give pleasure and sometimes they feel they cannot get enough of it, like they cannot get enough of it. And sometimes they wanted to spend more and which they cannot afford to buy those.
Yeah.
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 You have something to say?
No, go ahead.
Oh, no.
I have one for
And
the next
also
question.
the side effect.
also for what happens with
And
the
also the
expectation.
side effect of the appearance that would happen.
What are you saying, Kelvin?
With the expectations, I think it just can make people think that they are expected so much when in reality it's not that way.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So
just
that
a
can cause a
society.
negative effect in society.
Yeah, I agree.
The last question. How might the effort of trying to meet society's expectations of beauty affect a person's life?
Like in the Barbie doll poem, it just talked about like how she completely changed, like the way that they described who she was. Like she was healthy, intelligent, strong, and then afterwards, it's like she was advised to play coy, to come on hardy, to exercise, diet, smile, wheedle. Like her good nature totally wore out, and she just like wasn't who she truly was inside.
That's so true. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like that's
I'll,
like, yeah, go Kelvin.
um, yeah, I think that it affected her greatly because she was expected to do so much and she changed everything about herself so that she could live up to those expectations and eventually committed suicide. So that's not a good option for that. I mean,
Yeah,
the other lady kind of just let it happen, realized that there's other more important things, even though it kind of hurt her personally.
yeah,
She realized that it's not the end of the world.
Yeah,
yeah.
it didn't change who she was inside.
It's like
Yeah,
she gave up on trying to be society's beautiful, and instead of doing that, like she saw her inner beauty more than that. Like, although like it kind of it hurt
yeah,
her, you know what I mean? It did hurt her, but there is like more to life than what society thinks. And she still had her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that she probably changed most of her life, and everything was on her expectation for others was, and we end up in the loser life.
Yeah.
Oh, society.
Trying to think of any other details from the poems that like.
I feel like the ending of the Barbie doll poem, how like the questions, doesn't she look pretty? Everyone said, you know what I mean? Like, how so?
Oh, sorry again.
I got that for you.
It's an alarm to wake us up.
Sorry, y'all.
No, it's good. I was just saying that like at the end of the Barbie doll poem, I thought it was kind of ironic how she's laying in her casket and like you know how like when you bury someone you dress up in their nice clothes, fix their hair, put on makeup for them if they're female, you know what I mean? Like I thought it was
Yeah.
ironic that at her death everyone was able to admire her beauty.
Oh, that is interesting.
And I was just
Like,
like, how
finally.
come how come it
Yeah.
has to be when someone's gone for you to appreciate it or
That's
or like when
interesting.
someone goes through something so traumatizing or dramatic like that, for everyone to be
Yeah.
like, oh, she is beautiful.
Hmm. I also think it's interesting in the beauty poem that like the girl realizes that she's never going to be beautiful again, and then that's when like her sister, she like pauses and she's like, oh, for the first time like her nose seemed a little knobby. Like when one person doesn't think that they're beautiful, then you like start noticing the imperfections in them, and you start noticing like, oh yeah, you're kind of right, like
Yeah,
your skin is this and this and this. And so I think that's how like those social myths of non-beauty start, is that like because of our own comparing to each other and saying like, oh, I have this, I must not be beautiful, and then the other person like they kind of start to believe it even though they don't want to.
yeah, definitely. Calvin lost signal, so he's out. I told him all good. We're pretty much done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I really like this topic now that we're talking about like 20th century beauty, especially that
Yeah.
homework assignment we did about the photo that we had to choose. I think it's just easier for me to understand it now, especially like poetry that about the 20th century, because like we're pretty much living in it and we understand it and we've all gone through it growing up. Like I remember as a little kid, I cut my hair super short because that was in at the time, and I wanted to be considered beautiful. But
Hmm.
then in the end, I ended up regretting it because like long hair in Polynesian culture is more beautiful than having short hair. And I was
Oh.
that Polynesian girl with short hair all the time. But it just shows
Wow.
like what society
It's
really like
yeah.
does to you at such a young age.
It's cultural too, and I feel like right now we're deconstructing those cultural myths of beauty
Yeah.
and how they really apply to us.
Hold
Yeah.
on. But yeah,
Yeah.
that's pretty much
Um,
the
I
discussion.
think
Yeah, go Aina.
yeah, I think after taking the medication, less beautiful, and she tried to act like
Okay.
it does not bother her. But
Yeah.
the speaker, which is her brother, sees that it does. And then it's explained that women care too much about their physical appearance and do not see their true beauty.
Yeah.
And after reading all this poem and all these stories about the beauty, how beauty changed, and I think if we can say if we can leave the beauty alone,
Yeah.
if someone see you and say, "Oh, she's beautiful," and I think it doesn't matter. It will not bother us. But when we sit down and bring beauty in front of us and make it
Hmm.
become the priority in our life, and I think that's when it becomes worse. And
Yeah.
I was thinking, when are we going to read a novel or a poem that beauty gonna be a influence for us to I remember, I have experience. I have one of my sister who are like that, and she's still single right now. More, she's nearly to the 40 years old now, and
Yeah.
that's what she does. She just sit there and look beauty,
Yeah.
and
Like cell
she
phone,
didn't
makeup.
want bother to marry. Then, but that's when I
Yeah.
will help her a lot after studying all these stories.
Yeah. Yeah. it definitely is an eye opener. All these poems and discussions we're having.
Yeah, makes you rethink a lot.
Yeah, exactly.
But it just goes to show, like, it's pretty
Right?
much like getting your own priorities straight over what society thinks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, agreed.
But yeah, I have to get ready to go to class.
Awesome.
Good to speak with you guys. I'm gonna send it in right now because I already did the write up.
Thank you so much.
But yeah.
Okay.
We'll see you later then.
Guys.
Thank you. Love you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.